Where's Jen Obermeyer?
I don't know. It's about that time.
Well, it's going to be a very short meeting without her.
Yes.
I mean, we have quorum, but I don't have updates on these things.
Did you do okay in the storm, Kelly? What's that? Did you do okay in the storm?
I just broke my arm. Yeah.
From
so-
the storm?
Well, it wasn't, I believe the storm because we had some indoor or outdoor cushions in the house because of the storm, and I tripped over one of them when I left them on the floor because their cats loved them, you know? And I turned out the light, it was the day after the storm, the next day. And we did have electricity, we didn't miss power. We did in Helene, but not for this. And I just tripped and my arm's up. Oh, it really took me by surprise. It was pitch dark and I didn't expect it. So it
There's
really-
always those dumb things you can't
Yeah.
prepare for. You
And
know
that's
what I
it,
mean?
yeah, it wasn't like a fall you could brace for,
Right.
and it just broke, so, I mean, the shoulder's all, it's okay though, I don't need surgery.
Oh, that's
It
good.
was, but it's painful, still, it's been months, so it's painful. But inconvenient, can't drive, all those things.
Is he right-handed? I'm now calling to order the meeting of the Clearwater Library Advisory Board for November 7th, 2024. Further, as we are awaiting our library director, we are going to take a brief recess. Thank you. All right, we are now convening the meeting. We're coming out of recess. And the first thing I'd like to do is welcome our new member to the library board, Loretta Mitchell. We are delighted to have you with us. And if you'd like to just give us a brief thumbnail about your interest and how you came to be on the library board.
Sure will. Yes, my name, as I said, is Loretta Mitchell. I am a long-term resident of Clearwater, Florida. I'm actually born and raised here. Been here
Wonderful.
most of my life. My husband was military, so I traveled quite a bit with him military. And from military life, we went into baseball. So he was with the Philadelphia Phillies a program for 19 years. He retired in December of 2020, I think it was. We're the proud parents of 3 wonderful sons, adult sons, and we have 3 grandkids and 1 on the way. I came about it because I love doing civic work. I love doing volunteering work. So I started searching around to see what could I do to give back to my community, to my city that I love so dearly. And I have a huge interest and desire in reading and books and the library system, so I thought this would be the great opportunity to me to start here. My favorite things to do in life is garden and bake. I am an avid gardener. I'm a master gardener. I went through the program to become a master gardener. I've been teaching gardening classes, holding gardening workshops and clubs for the past year and a half now. I actually have a huge program coming up. I'm hoping it's huge. In about 3 weeks out at the main library on Drew Street. And it's where I'm giving back to the ladies that attended throughout this year. So it's going to be more like a little celebration and pre-Thanksgiving dinner that I'm luncheon and I'm going to have for them. So, and it's all volunteering. I just love giving back and doing things for the community and helping as many people as I can. Thank you. And I'm so happy
welcome
to be here.
again. We
I'm
are
so
thrilled to
happy.
have you with us.
Thank you.
All right, now, you all have a copy of the minutes, our last meeting of May 2nd, 2024. Do I hear a motion to approve the minutes? Okay, so made. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, the minutes are moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The minutes are approved. And now I'll see, are there any citizens to be heard regarding items not on the agenda? Seeing none, we will move to new business. New business, item 4.1, the 2025 Library Board Schedule. Ms. Obermeyer, do we have that, a copy of that here?
No, we don't.
All right, then I'm going to suggest we table this item and await an email from our director. Would that be acceptable to all?
Yes.
Fine. Then we shall anticipate getting our schedule of meetings for 2025 so that we can continue moving forward. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, I'll consult with the clerk's office. And,
Yes, because I wasn't sure which office that came out of.
The clerk's.
Clerk's office, okay. So
Yes.
I have not heard anything from that office recently, so, but they've been a little busy.
Yep.
All
Yeah,
right.
currently we're meeting February, May, August, and November.
Yes, yes.
But
And basically, you can assume that the first Thursday of those months, so you may highlight those dates on your calendar and assume that that's when we will be meeting, but we will, of course, confirm. Now, moving into old business, 5.1, staff vacancy status.
Yep.
Where do we stand right now?
you know, I like this as a standing item because, as you know, during COVID and after COVID, we had a lot of vacancies for various reasons. But I'm happy to report, well, we had one part-time at the East Library, and then we have a full-time program specialist that just got a job in Denver, Colorado.
Oh, my.
That's where she wanted to be. So, I think her last day is November 19th or something. So, right now we're recruiting for that position. We did interviews for the part-time East Library Assistant on Monday, and they selected someone, so we're going through the hiring process for that position. And then we'll move on to the programming specialist. So we're in a great position. I don't want to jinx myself, but we're doing great. So.
Oh, I'm delighted to hear it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Considering what it looked like a few years ago, it was, we like to see
Okay.
this, so.
Next item, main library renovation update.
Yes.
What is
so
the status here?
The status is, there's no real update. However, well, there is a big update. So Monday, there was a community redevelopment area for the downtown meeting before the city's work session, city council chamber work session. And Councilmember Teixeira provided a presentation about incorporating an art museum into the main library. This was the first time that this has been brought to council on the dais and to the public. So you can stream it on YouTube, Facebook, and the city's, Granicus, the city's website. It was an interesting discussion. The council members seemed very interested in pursuing this opportunity. So the direction that we got from the council on Monday was to, I'll be working with the CRA director to craft a, they call them RFPs, requests for proposals. So we create an RFP and what we're looking for in this area. And then we put it out to the world and see what art museums or cultural organizations are interested in an opportunity to have a presence inside the main library. So, you know, RFPs, it is a process, and then that has to be advertised for 30 days. We have to craft it, then advertise it for 30 days, and then see the responses, and then rate the responses. So it is a process, but we are starting that process.
Okay.
It's exciting.
So, and I
Exciting, yeah.
believe they wanted a draft or something for their next CRA meeting in December. So we don't have a lot of time, but like I said, I'll be working with the CRA director to
That will be fascinating to see how that develops.
exactly.
So,
Exactly.
yes, that's the first time I've heard of the idea being put forward of an art museum inside the library.
Yes.
Although certainly our art exhibits have been exceptional.
Absolutely, and
Yes.
I have that on.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes, it's further down in the director's report. I do see that. Okay, very good. So,
Yeah, but they did have someone from the Dali here.
Okay.
And gave a very broad presentation. But again, the council felt really strongly about putting an RFP to see if any other museum or cultural organizations are interested. So they call it competitive bidding.
certainly,
So.
very good.
So our renovation that we've been planning for a long time is still on hold until we know more about this
All right.
opportunity.
Thank you for the update.
Sure.
Now, moving into the director's report.
Yes.
Storm updates. Yes, since we last
Do you
met,
still
we
have-
have had 3 hurricanes, so.
Do you still have storm brain fog like I do? I don't know what
It
day
has
is.
been
I
a
don't know
challenge. So many of us
That-
have been impacted severely,
We've-
so we know that the beach library has been severely impacted. Would you give us a little bit of detail on that,
Yes,
please?
so there was a water breach, obviously, in the beach library. You know that the beach library is right near the bay, at the rec center, of course, because the rec center, the beach library is in the rec center. So there was a water breach. I think it was maybe 3 feet, maybe 3 to 4 feet. I know on the rec side, maybe 2 feet, 3 feet in the library. Unfortunately, you know, with the salt water and, as you know, with many of people's residents' homes and businesses had the same situation. So we had to discard everything, and same thing, same situation with the rec center. I mean, our metal shelving was rusting just days after the breach. Our library collection, of course, the lower shelves got water damage, and then with no air conditioning and heat, the collection, mold and mildew grows fast. So the collection was not salvageable. So we had to discard the entire collection, along with all the furniture. I mean, you can probably peek in there in the windows and see, but they had to, rip out 4 feet of drywall throughout the whole building, check the electrical, everything that you do when you have a water breach. So that's where we are right now, is they're getting that rec center back to a safe and secure structure. And then once that happens, we will rebuild. And again, that is a process. We have to start from scratch for everything,
And
furniture.
so the insurance adjusters have already seen.
I don't know, because that is handled by our risk management
Okay.
department. So I know I provided our inventory loss list. So they will work out all the specifics of that.
What about the staff?
So we have 3 staff members that are assigned to the beach library. We have a full-time librarian who manages the beach library, and 2 part-time library assistants. So what we needed to do is reassign them to main library.
Okay.
So
Okay,
that's where
good.
they are now.
Great.
Yes.
Good, I'm glad to hear that we are utilizing those staff
Absolutely.
members.
Yes.
Okay.
And then what we're doing is, of course, if people had items checked out, and if they were water damaged during the storm, we're waiving any damage. We
course.
wouldn't charge people for something they can't control. But if they have materials out that weren't damaged, if they return them, then they come back to main library here, and either get reassigned to another location, or we have a little area back there for the beach items. But there were items checked out, but it wasn't really significant. So, but yeah,
It's been a very challenging time.
it really has
Without a
been.
doubt.
It
Yes.
really has been. But
Yes.
we'll come back and we'll be better than ever.
Yes.
And it's just, I don't have a timeline for when that will be, but it is a process. And like I said, we have to order everything, shelving, furniture,
Yes.
books, and other materials, and
Yeah, it's basically starting over.
starting over.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we wish you all the best of luck working on that project.
Will the,
And
sorry,
certainly-
quick question. Will the building remain the same? You said starting over from scratch. Do you mean the building stays the same and we just rebuild the inside?
From what I know, that the structure will stay the same,
Gotcha.
from what I have heard.
Okay.
I don't think, they may be making some hardening modifications, I don't know. We don't own that building, the library, so it's the Parks and Recreation.
Okay.
Okay.
We just live in that building.
see.
It's
Gotcha.
really their building, so I don't know the details. But I don't think there's gonna be any major modifications to the structure.
Okay.
So,
Good question.
yes, it's a very good question,
Oh,
because we don't
yes.
want this to happen again,
Well,
so.
and again, we will soldier on and anticipate having a rebuilt beach library.
Yes.
All right, moving to the summer reading program. How did that go? Since that seems like a long time ago. but-
It does, it really does.
Yes.
They say time flies, but then when you think about it, it's summer. It was one of our most successful summer reading programs since COVID. And we're really seeing, and I think I reported previous meetings last year, excuse me. It's drip. recess.
I'm calling a brief recess. Continue now discussing the summer reading program.
So we had a really successful summer reading program for all ages, children, teens, and adults. We do online reading challenges. It's a software called Beanstack. So people can log their reading every week, and then we have weekly little prize giveaways for all ages. And we hire presenters to provide programs, and then also staff-led programs. Excuse me. So it was a really great summer, and like I said, since, as COVID, as the years went by, we saw more people coming back and wanting to be together. Excuse me. But this summer was remarkable. So we're gearing up. We start planning for next summer in January. So we're getting ready for that. So
It's the life cycle of the library.
it is.
Yes,
it
we're
is.
always planning
Summer
the
reading
next
is.
summer season.
I say it's our season, and so we always look forward to it. So
Wonderful.
yes.
Now, money. Let's talk about
Money.
fiscal year 24-25 budget. How does the budget look this year?
I am happy to report it is a status quo budget.
Okay, very good.
No significant changes in regard to our line items, our staffing, our hours. So we're really happy when it's a status quo budget.
Very good.
Yes.
We're delighted to hear it.
Yes.
And tell us about the library dashboard.
Yes, so this was a new thing that we launched, I think back in August. So if you go to the city's website, myclearwater.com, there's a section on the website that says dashboards. And I believe every department has a dashboard. So for those of you who may not know, a dashboard is just metrics, how we codify our services, the success of our services, and just data points. So like door counts is a data point. Circulation is a data point. Number of programs by age group, attendance is a data point. So there's many different facets of this dashboard. And it's really interesting to see, if you go on there, there's different pages, but like we've broken out how many ebooks circulate through our library system, how many physical items circulate. So I just want to encourage you all to go on this dashboard. It's really informative, and it really gives you a great snapshot on the services we provide and how we utilize the city money, the city funds that we get to provide these services. So it's just an interesting, just a snapshot of what we do and how well we do it. So
That's great.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
So with the dashboard, do you have goals, or is it just to keep track of what's going on? Or do you have goals to meet with how
The
many
dashboard is just primarily reporting.
people? Okay.
We have goals, of course, internally, but and it's a fluid dashboard, so it
Okay.
gets updated regularly. So basically, it's just reporting
Okay.
what has occurred or what the situation is.
Okay.
But yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Jennifer? All right. So let's take a look now at our fall and winter programs and outreach events.
Again, fall and winter programs, it's a very active time for us. We have, the holiday season. We just had our Halloween programs, which of course are very popular. And then we go right into Thanksgiving and then the winter holidays. So it's always a very exciting and active quarter for us. We will be doing the annual Posada at our East Library, which is, we've been doing it for many, many years, and it's always a great event. I don't have the date on the top of my head, but it's always in December. And it really brings the Hispanic community together. Posada is a celebration of their Christmas. So be on the lookout for that. And then, of course, we're doing, we continue to do programs in Cochran Park. And our outreach, we still are continuing to partner with an assisted living facility out in the East area. And we do, staff goes out monthly and provides programs. And then we have many other different types of outreach events. And the city had a Falloween recently, which was a Halloween themed program. We had a table down in Cushman Park. So, and I probably sound like a broken record, but outreach is very important to us.
Absolutely.
Being out in the community and being where the community gathers is very important. Word of mouth is very important to promote our services. And now we've had the ability for the past 2 years or 3 years to actually register people library cards. We bring out a laptop and a Wi-Fi hotspot, and people can get cards out during these events, which we couldn't have done in the past. We can give them applications, but then they would have to come here to get a card or come to a library location. But now we have the ability to register people out in the community, and it's a great opportunity. So outreach is such a high priority for us and a focus area for us to be out where the community is at these events or our own events, and we're seeing a lot of positive reception for that. So.
Well, that's imperative for the library's, ongoing existence, is that outreach be a continuous process.
Absolutely.
And I'm thrilled that we can now attend events in the community and register people with
Yes.
library cards right on the site.
Absolutely.
That is excellent news.
Yep.
Any other questions or comments from other members? All right.
And one thing I just want to add to the outreach events, we just got 2 weeks ago our library bicycle.
Yeah, we talked about that.
So in fact, they just put it together. Actually, it's right outside. But we need to get there's a big box, that you can put materials in and all that. We're going to get that designed either by an artist or wrapped. It'll be decorative, and that hasn't happened yet because we just got the bicycle. But I can send all of you a picture of it. It's really,
Good.
it's pretty
And
neat.
will that be demonstrated or presented to the city council just to see that and so on?
Yes,
Okay.
that's our plan. Yep.
Excellent.
And then, I don't know if this will happen or not, but we may display it when it's not being used in our lobby.
Okay.
Just for, I mean, it's it's quite a sight, and it's really neat. And primarily, we're going to use it like Cushion Park and downtown. When we get our library vehicle, we'll be able to actually put the bicycle into the vehicle and transport it to another library location or another location within Clearwater.
Very good.
So it doesn't have to be a branch, it could be somewhere in the community for community events. So we're just excited. It took quite a while to get this bicycle, so when it came, I was like, yes, we got it.
Oh,
So,
that is excellent.
Yeah.
All right, and you're having a staff development day.
Yes, in fact, we were supposed to have it October 14th, and that was right after Helene. And we had what we're gonna do, half the day is, we need to update our strategic plan. So we hired a consultant, a strategic planner, to help us facilitate the start of that, to kick it off. And that was gonna be part of our staff development day. And as Helene was approaching, he contacted me and said, I'm evacuating out of the state. And then, when Helene hit and just so much damage, we decided to cancel it. But we are going to reschedule it, and we're in the process of rescheduling it in the spring. So to be
Yeah,
continued.
I assumed it would be in the new year. Yes.
Yeah, it'll be in the
Okay.
spring. We're still deciding or trying to find a date that will work. But we will, I'm hoping for the end of March. But again, we have to see about room availability and availability of our strategic planner and whatnot, so. But I mean, it was sad that we had to reschedule, but it was the right thing to do because it was, like I said, it was right after the storm and it was just, yeah. So that's coming.
And earlier, we alluded to the main library having art exhibits. What is the situation at the moment?
Yes, so the city has officially formed a partnership with the Clearwater Arts Alliance. So they are happily managing the space in our main library, in the cafe area. It's where we have the Clyde Butcher exhibits and Nikki Butcher and the Cuba exhibit. So now they are managing that space. So I believe this is their third exhibit that just opened about 2 weeks ago. If you haven't had a chance, take a look at the great art. The current exhibit is Clearwater-inspired art. So there's a lot of pieces that refer to either Clearwater landmarks or around the city. So it's
Yes, I recommend the public come and take a look at this artwork from Clearwater. It is, I mean, there is something for everybody.
Yes.
Everything from kind of classic landscapes to things that practically grab you. It's fascinating.
Absolutely.
So I think that alliance certainly is working well.
It is such a great partnership, and you just see these exhibits go up, and you realize how talented people are. I mean, it's just, and they're in our community, and it's just wonderful. And then we also partner with them for the art walk that they have, and actually it starts at the main library, and then they walk around to different places in downtown to see all the wonderful art that's out there. So it's just a great partnership. We're so happy that they want to manage that space because it would be a lot for the library staff to do. So it's a great partnership, and we're happy to have them. So
Very good.
yeah. So.
What holiday
Quick
closures?
question, sorry, quick
Go
question
ahead,
about
go
that.
ahead.
When we talk about the museum taking a space here in the library, will it be that space?
It will be part of that space.
Okay, just clearing that up.
So what we are envisioning is the western side of the building, so from the entrance to the staircase, but not east of the hallway, the main hallway. So
Okay.
it'd just be that western end.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. What holiday closures are coming?
Holiday closures, we have, of course, Veterans Day coming up on Monday. So we get to honor our veterans. I believe the library has almost 10, maybe 10 veterans on staff.
That's wonderful.
Yes. In fact, this morning the city was doing a veteran breakfast in recognition, so as a way to thank them for their service. So we'll be closed on Monday, and then we jump right into the Thanksgiving holiday. Historically, we've always closed early the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and we will be closing at 2 o'clock again this year on the Wednesday, and of course, the city's holidays are Thursday and Friday for Thanksgiving week. And then Christmas, we'll be closing early on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve at 2 o'clock, and then, of course, Christmas Day and New Year's Day we're closed. And then since we probably won't meet until February, we have a closure for Martin Luther King's birthday on, I don't know what date it is, but it's usually the Monday around his birthday, which is January 15th, which is my birthday too. So we'll be closed for Martin Luther King's birthday. So,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
And when and where will the holiday staff breakfast?
Yes, so we are actively planning for that. We are December 5th. We've always had a holiday breakfast for staff, and it's just a great time to celebrate the holidays together as a system. So we always have it in the morning. I am going to ask if we could close our locations from like 10 to 12, so all of our staff can come to the breakfast and don't have to worry about, being at their branch or location to serve the public. So we're thinking maybe 10 to 12, and we'll open to the public at 12, but I need to get approval for that. East Library will stay open because of the college.
Yes.
So they will be open during the holiday breakfast. But it's just a great time. We have activities. We do green screen with holiday pictures and crafts, and of course breakfast. And it's just a great time to celebrate the season with staff. So
Good.
Where do they
staff
hold this?
appreciation.
Where are they going to hold the breakfast?
We are planning to do it at Countryside Library this year.
Okay, at the library.
Countryside. Yeah.
Very nice.
So yes.
Very good. All right. And the Library Foundation.
I don't really have much to report. They haven't been meeting for a while. There's been our executive director has retired, so that position hasn't been filled. I don't know what the plans are for that position, but they haven't had an official meeting in quite a while. So until I know more, that's all I know.
Okay.
From the
Very good.
foundation.
And how are the Friends of the Library?
Friends are great. They continue. We have our bookstore here, and we have a book area at our other locations, and they've been great. We've been getting a lot of donations over the years, so people they're buying the books, and as you know, all proceeds come back to the library.
Yes.
So they're really generous with funding programs and scholarships for people to go to college, and possibly Employee of the Month, Employee of the Year this coming year. So I did submit a funding proposal. Their funding season or year is calendar, so January to December. So I should have a good indication of what they're going to fund for fiscal year 25. But they've always been very generous, and we appreciate them very much. So very supportive.
Now, is it the Friends who do the backpack program when school starts?
That was typically the foundation.
Oh, that was.
This past year, we didn't have a backpack giveaway per se. I don't know about next year. I'm certainly going to hope that we can.
Okay.
But I don't know right now.
Okay, and any of you out there who are interested in the Library Foundation, please go to the library's website, learn about it, and consider getting involved, because we want to keep our libraries viable and continue to do these public works projects, basically, that the foundation takes care of. All right. Are there any board members who wish to be heard on any given subject? All right.
I just want to add one thing. We do have one vacancy on this board.
Yes.
We are trying to actively fill it.
Okay.
So to be determined hopefully soon. But
All
we do
right,
have.
and I will
we do
certainly make my pitch to the public. I would certainly encourage anyone out there who is a fan of the libraries and loves the fact that Clearwater has a fantastic library system. I would encourage you to apply to become a member of the library board. So our libraries do good work. So, is there anything further? Hearing nothing, then I hereby adjourn the meeting of the library board. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.